Okay folks, we need to talk about Sarah Sherman, because this story will shock you. And people have been asking, who exactly is Sarah and where did she come from? It seems like she went from being a nobody to a leading cast member on SNL overnight. Well, this story is sad and disturbing. So Sarah Sherman is the daughter of Don Sherman, the famous Hollywood costume designer. And his company and brand, D. Sherman, have been creating fabulous costumes for TV and film since the early 90s. And while Sarah could have jumped on the Dax Shepard nepotism bandwagon, she actually started off as a very quiet, shy person who would never have dreamed of performing. And Sarah was a sweet kid who no one would have predicted would turn into the monster she is today. So during her summer breaks at college, Sarah would work part-time for her father's company doing some basic data entry work. And it's while working there that Sarah becomes friends with the longtime client, piano rock band Coldplay. You see, Sarah's father, Don, had been the one who had created fabulous costumes for each album cycle since Viva La Vida. And during the 2014 Ghost Stories album cycle ramp-up, Chris Martin and Sarah Sherman become very close. And it wasn't long before the two were secretly dating. And this was a big surprise for Sarah's friends, who said Sarah was so quiet they couldn't imagine how the two could even relate. And this was during Chris's uncoupling era, so he kept this relationship completely under wraps. And then when it came time to go on tour, Chris very casually broke up with Sarah, thinking she would understand this is the rock star way. But obviously that's not how it went. You see, this was Sarah Sherman's first boyfriend, and she was absolutely destroyed when she learned they weren't getting married. And when I say destroyed, I mean she had to get put into a facility. Now, after a couple of months of unbearable misery, Sarah is watching her favorite show, E! Entertainment News, when she learns the love of her life, Chris Martin, is now dating Dakota Johnson, a woman who Sarah thought looked strangely similar to her. And this is what made Sarah's head pop. She had a literal psychotic break, and doctors say a minor stroke that seems to have altered her frontal lobe in a way that can't be reversed. Sarah had become a different person, and she was hell-bent on revenge, and she made it her mission to publicly mock and harass Chris Martin for the rest of his life. She even started calling herself Sarah Squirm after the Chris Martin penned lyric, "I hate that I made Sarah squirm," a one-time love song to his now ex. And she even started creating psychotic videos posted on the dark web threatening violence against Chris Martin. So how does Sarah go from posting threats on the dark web to Saturday Night Live? Well, before now, Sarah would have never used her parents' connections. But this was the new Sarah, and her father's company just happened to be the costumers for SNL for the last 15 years. So Sarah uses her connections to land a role on the hit TV show. But if you watched my video on A.D. Bryant, you'd know that while she was running SNL, she literally forced Sarah and Bowen Yang to pretend to be gay to keep their jobs. It's a long story, so check that episode out. But in reality, Sarah didn't mind pretending to be gay. She actually used it to her advantage. You see, Sarah had started wearing absurd clown costumes to mock Coldplay's silly band uniforms. And some of the producers at SNL weren't happy about it. So Sarah cleverly uses the cover that she's now gay to make it so nobody can question what she wears, or else they're being homophobic. And it's actually a genius idea. She gets to go on Weekend Update completely mocking Chris Martin, taking shots at his band almost every episode, and literally nobody can stop her. And everyone heard how Chris Martin was recently in the hospital because of giardia, which led everyone online to make jokes that it came from a sexual act with his partner, much like everyone joked about Michael Douglas's throat cancer. But if you look at Sarah Sherman's Twitter, right before this incident, she left this cryptic message: "Sending some special treats to my love." And a day before that, posted a picture of herself in an LA bakery on Instagram. Now, online sleuthers were quick to point out that the box Sarah was holding in the picture seemed to be the same company that had just put Chris Martin in the hospital. And within 24 hours, Sarah actually deleted the photo in question, leading fans to believe that Sarah had tampered with these pastries and then left them on Chris's doorstep. Now, there's plenty more about Sarah, from her online war of words with Michael Vick to how she made it her personal mission to put an end to Kids Bop, claiming the children were getting an unfair leg up in the industry. But we'll have to save that for another time. For now, Sarah Sherman, you're a total bitch. Okay guys, the network trolls are trying to take down the TB Nation, so get out there and fight back. Don't let big Hollywood bully you around.